Welcome once again to Tackle Primetime, powered by the NCSA. This week, we finalize our 2010 rankings by taking a look at the top tight ends in America. Then, we'll turn our attention to what recruits need to know about camps and combines.
Thanks, Ashley. Another great job. This week, we want to break down the tight end position. Boy, I tell you, a really good tight end can make an offense click. Isn't that right, Coach?
You know, Randy, I had the privilege of coaching tight end position while at the University of Notre Dame and really understand the importance of having a good tight end. They are asked to contribute in so many different ways, and that's why I love coaching them. They have to contribute to the passing game. They have to contribute to the running game. Their importance really can't be overstated. I always looked at a tight end as half wide receiver and half offensive tackle.
Let's head off this year's top tight ends with our #1 guy, Alex Welch, 6'5", 225, Elder High School in Ohio. I love the way he finishes his blocks, bends his knees, fits his hands, and moves his feet. He can be an offensive lineman at times. He's instinctive and smart as a receiver and a route runner. Uses a good stiff arm. I love that. Once he adds more bulk, he could really be special at the position.
Well, Randy, another young guy that I really liked was Xavier Grimble, 6'5", 241 pounds from Bishop Gorman High School in Nevada. This guy's the total package. A big athlete, catches the ball well, gets down the seam, can stretch a defense, especially against cover 2. He's athletic, and one of the things I always told my tight ends, after you catch the football, you now become a fullback.
Next is Curtis White, 6'5", 245 pounds, Shledon High School in Oregon, a versatile player, tremendous athlete, catches the ball easily. He's got good hip flex, Coach, which is important, allowing him to be a good runner after the catch, and he can block. A very good defensive end off the edge.
C.J. Fiedorowicz, 6'6", 230 pounds from Johnsburg High School in Johnsburg, Illinois. He's an athletic kid with terrific skills. Plays in the slot quite a bit, so you don't see him block as often as you'd like. Okay, but understand this, he has all the tools. He's very athletic. CJ doesn't play against the best talent, so effort, toughness, and hunger are to be determined. He sure looks the part though, Randy. Blake Barker, 6'6", 235 pounds from Buckingham, Browne, and Nichols High School in Massachusetts. He's a really good short-range receiver. Gets separation and he blocks well. He's also a good defensive end, which I love. And you know what? When I see a guy play on both sides of the football, I know one thing. His coaches can't get him off the field.
Okay, you old camp director.
That's a new one, Randy.
Let's transition to talking about summer camps and combines. First, the difference between the two is this. A combine is a test of physical skills like the shuttle 40 vertical jump. The camp is a position skills event showing the ability to turn and run as a corner or kick step as an offensive lineman. They're both very important in the recruiting process. Camps hosted by colleges are extremely important in the evaluation process, but recruits need to know exactly what camps are good for and what they aren't. Every recruit dreams of being discovered by a coach at a top program, but that just isn't reality.
That's entirely correct, Randy. When I was a coach working at camp as a recruiting coordinator, I always gave our assistant coaches a list of young guys that we were interested in, and that's where they began their evaluation process. If you weren't on that list, you'd be lucky to get a fair look. In fact, I just read that at USC's camp of 350 student athletes, which occurred this summer, only a dozen were on the coach's top list. That's why you need to find out what schools are seriously recruiting you. You need to find this out ahead of time before you decide to go to camp, that you make sure that you have a shot to be evaluated.
Coach, I recommend that recruits start contacting coaches early on to see if they're going to receive an invitational invite to summer camp. If the coaches are specifically contacting you to express a desire to get you in their camp, you can expect to be on that list you just mentioned.
Well, you have to understand what an individual invite is. It's not a letter with a brochure. Typically, it will come by personal correspondence, by email, or by phone. If you aren't personally invited by the schools at the top of your list, it may be time to turn your attention elsewhere. Be realistic about your level of play. If you are a D2 player, you could be better served attending a camp at a D2 school. Going to a D1 camp that employs a large number of D2 coaches may also be a way to be discovered.
Coach, combines have also emerged as a critical stop on the recruiting trail. Recruits should plan on attending at least one combine to get trusted information, get time, get measured. It's very important. Trusted is key. Measurements for mom and dad simply won't hold up with college coaches.
All right, that finalizes our 2010 rankings. Be sure to join us next week as we wrap up this season of Tackle Primetime with our 2011 Preview Edition. Until then, be sure to sign up for Tackle Recruiting, powered by the NCSA.